Hey kids, you're listening to A Couple of Annoyed Grunt Boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the beloved animated series The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest episodes when they air. Why do we do it like this? Well, an entity known as Wheel of Random has trapped us and cursed us to only watch those episodes in that manner. And I say we because I'm just one annoyed grunt boy named Craig, and with me, as always, is the other annoyed grunt boy,
Steve. Hey, Craig.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for recording on this day. This isn't our usual record day because good old Mother Nature had to be a jerk and have a storm.
Yeah.
So what happened was on our day of record, a tree fell on a power line in the storm, and so Craig didn't have power for like 2 hours.
It's pretty bad. Now, I gotta ask, did it make a sound when the tree fell?
Yeah, it did. It went like this. Sorry, that's the sound of one hand clap.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But it's kind of funny, like, as we're sitting there in the dark. I mean, it wasn't that dark because it was during the day, but like, I was like, well, and like an hour has passed, and I was still texting you and letting you know if the power was ever going to come back. It's those like little things of, all right, like I took my phone, was texting, I'm like, well, and then I plugged it back into my charger. I'm like, what am I doing? This is not going to do anything. I was almost thinking like we could technically still record because my laptop has a battery. I could log into the internet with my cell phone service.
Right.
But my laptop's old and the battery life is only about 30 minutes. So I have to keep my laptop plugged in all the time. But I'm glad that we waited a day and can just do it the right way. But the funny thing is, like, we were getting to like hour 2, and I was like, you know what? It is getting a little dark. So then I lit some fake candles. I know you have a wife who makes candles as for a living. Sorry, I used battery powered candles.
Oh,
Steve.
jeez.
Yeah. Technically, you know, we have a new board. You're not supposed to light candles. Unless I think if it's like a soy candle, it's okay. Which I believe your wife makes it with soy, right?
She does make it with soy. However, I will admit that over the holiday season, we had a fake Christmas tree made out of wood. So is it fake? I don't know. But we put fake candles on the fake Christmas tree because you wouldn't want real candles. So we also use fake candles.
Did you say you had a fake tree made out of wood?
Exactly, yeah. So it's like kind of an like a question if it's actually a fake tree because trees are made out of wood, and I sound like Mr. Woodchuck over here talking about wood so much, but yeah, it's a tree and it's made out of wood, so I guess it's real.
I'm gonna have to look up one of those. I like that idea, but we're not in the Christmas season yet, Steve. So wrapping it up, I was just saying that I had the candle set up and we were gonna play a game. But not a board game. It's actually, we got this book that has like 20 mysteries in it. Ooh. So you read like a little synopsis, a little story about it. And there's like a couple pictures and you have to look at the pictures and figure out, you know, who did the crime with what weapon. Like Clue, the game Clue.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to use your noggin and like just be as creative as possible. So like, we had the candles and the board and the book set up ready to do this and lights came back on. I was like, sweet. We can watch TV again.
We don't need to use our brains. We have ThinkBox for us.
What do you do when the power goes out? Like, what's your go-to?
I guess, yeah, we normally try and play a game, or we'll try and read by candlelight and be like pioneer people.
Do you put like a dressing gown on and then like a little long cap?
Yes, exactly.
Looking like Ebenezer Scrooge, yeah.
Yeah, I grow like a long spindly mustache, and I have like one of those ear things to hear, because I become an old man. Older man, I guess. Yeah,
and the other thing we were thinking of doing was, we could go to like family-friendly sports bars that have like daily specials. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, this one place like has like a $10 cheeseburger and fry deal. I'm like, oh sweet, let's go there. And then power came back on. I had to cook dinner like a schmuck.
Oh.
But hey, at least we have power now, Steve. The power to talk about The Simpsons. So let's just get on with this week's episode, Steve, which originally aired January 17th, 2016. So let's go into our time machine and look at what was popular for film and music for that week. So, Steve, what was the number 1 movie in the box office?
Well, we're in our time machine. You can drive, and I'll ride along too, because the number 1 movie was Ride Along 2.
This is a Kevin Hart and Ice cube joint?
I do believe, yes. There was a moment where Kevin Hart, I mean, he's still in a lot of things, but, like, he was really in the zeitgeist and in all the things, and I think that this is why, you know, like, there was a time when it was just him, Ken Jeong, Chris Pratt, like, they were in every movie, and I think they might all three be in this movie, actually.
You said Ken Jeong, and yes, he is in this movie.
Oh, that's funny.
And so is Funny Man's wife, Olivia Munn.
Oh, boy.
I guess it's just who the funny man was. The guy who talks like this, John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
Hey, look at Glenn Powell, who's like hot now.
Mm-hmm.
He must have like a probably small role back in 2016 because he wasn't. I think it was what, Top Gun Maverick was kind of his big.
Yeah.
Look at this guy star. Yeah, Benjamin Bratt.
Ooh, from TV's Law and Order,
and former lover of Emma Roberts' aunt.
Yes.
Eric Roberts' sister.
Yes.
Pretty Woman herself. No, Steve, not Richard Gere.
Oh, the hamster?
Julia Roberts. There you go.
Oh.
Is Benjamin Bratt, by the way?
He did have a good summer last summer. So yes, I think it was a Benjamin Bratt summer.
And look, Sherry Shepherd was in it. Wasn't she,
Oh.
Tracy Jordan's wife on 30 Rock?
Indeed, she was. And I think she was on The View, maybe?
Yeah, she was on The View. I always thought her character was really great on 30 Rock.
Yes.
Or, like, her in that role was really funny. And Steve, some guy named Utkarsh Ambudkar, I don't know who that is, and I don't think we'll ever talk about him again.
Probably not.
All right. Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Hello?
Hi, I can hear you.
Steve, sorry, I couldn't hear you. It's probably because my laptop is a Dell.
Oh, boy. Dude, you're getting Adele?
Yeah, her CD, 21, I think, because it has that great song, Hello.
Yes.
That's right, Steve, it was Hello by Adele. And I'm getting word that it was not from the album 21, but from the album 25. Not knowing that really stressed me out.
Oh, boy, it's a good thing that you're not, like, operating heavy machinery like a flying machine or anything.
Is it because I was thinking of 21 Pilots?
I think so, and their hit song, Stressed Out, which is the #1 song on the Hot Rock Alternative chart.
Well, I'm glad we can clear all that up, Steve.
Ooh, yes.
Because now I could die a happy man knowing that I was set correctly.
And frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Do you want some of my English muffins?
Yes, all those nooks and crannies.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. You were Rhett from Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, that's their name, right? Yeah.
I think it is, yeah. And these are Thomas English muffins.
Exactly.
Now can you die happy, man?
I would, but you would never give me flowers.
Before you say that, Steve, we should really say what the country hot one.
Oh, yeah. The #1 country hot song is Die a Happy Man by Thomas Rhett.
Now that sounds like a country singer's name.
It does. Thomas Rhett.
So what were you saying about flowers?
Oh, you just, you never give me flowers, and especially my favorite flowers. And that kind of, like, much like the 21 Pilots, it stresses me out and makes me want to smoke cigarettes a lot.
Do you want to do it alone, or do you want to bring your favorite bailiff from Night Court, Roz? Or if we cloned her, Roz's?
Yes, that'd be great. It'd be a lot of fun. A bunch of Marsha Warfields running around. I would like that.
So that's why we're giving you Roses by the Chainsmokers, featuring Roz's. But I'm assuming Roz's is actually Roses because it's spelled Rozes. So it's probably Roses.
I think so, but it's a weird name. And it's weird to have a song that is your name, but not spelled the same. Like, Bad Company didn't have a song called Bad Company with a K. Because that would be confusing.
Yeah, now, yeah, it would be like B, and then the and symbol, D, and then CUMPENNY.
Yes.
Bad Company. Company is what Jonathan Galecki says to Kaylee Cuoco's character in Big Bang Theory.
It's also what Inspector Gadget says to his niece.
Jesus. It's also what John Wilkes Booth did to Abraham Lincoln's 1 cent piece.
Jeez.
All right, hey, Steve, I'm done talking about stuff like this, so let's just get on with this week's episode for real this time.
Okay, I like it.
Like I said, much ado about something. Sanjay gives his steak and the Kwik-E-Mart to his son, who turns it into a trendy health food market. And Bart decides to take the new store down. All right, Steve, I need to take a break. I need to go to my local convenience store and get a scratcher ticket and a squishy. And then we'll come back and watch the episode. How about that?
Sounds delightful.
We'll be right back. And we're back today. We're talking about Much Apoo About Something. It's the 12th episode of the 27th season. It's episode 586 in the show's run. Original air date January 17th, 2016. Your nerd code is VABF05. Written by Michael Price. Directed by Bob Anderson. Showrunner Al Jean.
Alrighty, Michael Price, writer and producer. He's gotten an Emmy and a Writers Guild Award for his work on The Simpsons. And he also worked on the ABC A Cartoon Teacher's Pet. He was a script consultant on The Simpsons movie. And now he works on Lego Star Wars stuff. And to date, he's written 26 episodes. This is the 10th that we've reviewed. Our most recent before this one was Mathlete's Feet. And then, most recently for him, he wrote I, Bonnie Romance and Hostel Crook Place from seasons 34 and 35, respectively.
And not to put him down, but I think those were one of our least favorite episodes.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think of other episodes that he's done that we enjoyed. And, I'm not seeing them. We did Mommy Beerist, The Boy's a Bummer, which I think we liked. Funeral for a Fiend, You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee. He likes sports.
Or he likes Tom Petty's song, Steve.
That's true. That could be possible.
Well, look, I mean, he's got 26 episodes, so we're bound to like at least some of them.
One would assume, and maybe this will be the lucky one for us.
I think it's because, i.e. Bonnie Romance, I was putting too much not hope into the episode, but I was very excited for that one because of David Tennant having a voice and Karen Gillian, so and the concept I think was good. I just feel like it wasn't executed as how I envisioned it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hostel Kirk Place. Well, I don't think we hated it. We were just saddened by the deterioration of Kirk, who was once like a lovable loser and now just is a loser.
Right. He become very much unlikable and kind of a maggot chud in a way.
A Joe Rogan fan.
Exactly.
He's a beta wanting to be an alpha.
That's right. When everybody knows being beta is great.
Well, we're just actually a couple of Delta boys.
I'm an Omega man.
Hey, Steve, you said to just get on with this week's episode, and I'm going to. We have a title gag. We got Sherry Bobbins flying through the air, powered by her umbrella, until she sucked into the letter O of the word Simpsons.
Oh, that's fun. Always good to see Sherry Bobbins.
Even though technically she's dead, right? Canon-wise?
That's right, because of that darn umbrella, and she got stuck in the power line, so... Oh, the airplane, yeah. And before we begin, this title is a reference to, of course, Much Ado About Nothing, the Shakespeare play. But also, they kind of played with this before in Season 7's Much Apoo About Nothing, which is, of course, the episode where people get deported for being immigrants, and luckily our country's evolved since then, and we're not worried about that so much anymore.
That was a joke. I mean, that would never happen in this country, Steve.
Of course not.
No.
I just can remember that that's the episode with the bear tax.
It's funny when I was looking up information on this episode, because last week you said it's much Apoo About Something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, oh, what was the title of the episode? I think it's Much Apoo About Nothing. So I type it in, and I'm looking like, wait a minute, we can't be doing this. This is season 7. I swear it was 27.
I know, I did the same thing.
Do you think when they wrote this episode, it was Much Apoo About Nothing? And then they're like, I think we already have a title.
Yeah.
They're like, you just gotta change it. Because they were just trying to find the word Apoo for, so that rhymes with a famous title of a book or movie, like they usually do for The Simpsons. So, let's just do it right now.
This bud's for Apoo.
Apoo hand Luke.
To Wong Apoo, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
That thing you Apoo.
Ooh, nice, yes.
Apoo the right thing.
Ooh, yes.
That makes more sense.
That's actually good, yeah.
Do the Right Thing had, the pizza place, and it was kind of about that's better. All right.
Yeah, that's the one.
And they can even call it a Michael Price joint. Have
yes.
more reference to, although have they done a Do the Right Thing parody title?
I think they have, probably. I don't think they've actually done a Do the Right Thing parody.
No, but is it Apoo the Right Thing?
Maybe it is.
Let's just double check. No, they haven't.
No.
Okay. But hey, look, Steve, eventually they're going to need AI writers, and that's going to be us.
That's
we'll
right.
write that episode. Okay. Well, Steve, our episode begins, as it always does, in Washington, D.C., as the Battle Hymn of the Republic plays. A father and son stand by the Lincoln Memorial. So the young boy wearing a Board in the USA t-shirt is less than impressed with the statue of the 16th president. An announcer asks if they are tired of the same old monuments, and the father and son say in unison, "You bet we are." Do you feel like this is what a modern Homer and Bart would look like?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like
A real-life versions?
Yeah, because, like, he wouldn't be so bald. Born in the USA kid has normal hair.
Yeah. They have, like, normal-looking faces. Like, the Simpsons are all weird-looking.
Yeah, and the rest of the people around them have, like, kind of normalized a bit.
Did you say the breasts of the people?
Yes, the breasts of the people. The rest of the people.
Oh, okay.
The titties of the people.
All right, I like that. Fun kid, though. Great
Yeah.
shirt.
I like that shirt. So the ad continues showing the Liberty Bell, which hasn't rung since 1846. Then the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, with the voiceover asking, "Who is this guy?" And Mount Rushmore, which is not in chronological order and is lacking one very important president. The announcer invites the viewer to come to Springfield, just as Blinky, the three-eyed fish, swallows the father and son.
Have you been to any monuments like this, like national monuments?
No. I've never been to DC.
Is it because you're a Marvel guy?
Yes, I am a Marvel guy, not a DC guy. So I went to New York, and so I saw the Fantastic Four building. I saw the Daily Tribune, where J.J. Jameson works, and
Whoa, you mean Bugle, dude.
yeah, the Daily Bugle.
Did you go to Hell's Kitchen and get saved by Daredevil?
That's right. I saw the Kingpin, and I saw Doctor Doom.
Was the Kingpin a black guy or a white guy?
I think this time around he was a black guy. He was Ving Rhames.
Okay, so I just need to know what universe you were in. All right,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
in the Marvel 616. You were in the Foxiverse. I got it. All right.
Yeah.
Besides, like, national parks, but yeah, I've never been to any, obviously any of these ones that they shown, but I don't know. I think the way American politics is now, like, I'm not eager to visit anything America right now.
Yeah.
Again, not a political podcast, but America, you let me down. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you're kind of not on your best behavior right now, America, so yeah, I hear you.
Go take a time out. So the nuclear monstrosity Turntown mascot spits out the man and boy in the center of Springfield, where Mayor Quimby boasts that they have more handicap parking spots for fat guys than any non-Chicago city. It's a very funny joke. So Diamond Joe goes on to say that for the upcoming Founders Day parade, a new state-of-the-art statue of Jebediah Springfield will be unveiled.
So the Jebediah statue in Town Square then rips off his sleeves and exposes his bare, buff chest. He then uses his robotic arms to pick up the young boy and press him next to his naked bosom. The statue offers the boy his coonskin cap, some history, some personal recognition, and a coupon from its ass, all of which impresses Lisa, Bart, and eventually Homer.
I founded Springfield in 1796. Billy,
Wow! He's so interactive.
here's a coupon for one cheese pizza at
Luigi's on a main street.
Artist's conception of the original statue design, which is not the actual statue design. Your statue may vary.
Can we see the statue? Please, Dad. Can we?
It's not gonna be as good as you think.
Nothing ever is. But it gets us out of the house. Can we?
Oh wait, I'm me. Sure.
I feel like, Homer doesn't ever want to go anywhere. Why would he want to see a statue?
Especially a statue of, like, Springfield, and, it is a little weird, but I just like it's a callback to, like, them going to want to go to, like, Mount Springfield.
Right.
But yeah, it is a little suspect that Homer would want to do that.
Just say sus, Steve, because then...
Oh,
those
yeah,
will listen
sorry.
to us.
It's totes sus, skibbity toilet.
That comment was fire.
At the Founders Day parade and statue unveiling, a sign informs visitors that the celebrity guest canceled because they wouldn't pay for a second night. So as the band plays Stars and Stripes Forever, Homer, Bart, and Maggie pay a visit to the nearby Kwik-E-Mart, which is incredibly crowded. Homer states that his favorite part of the parade is coming to the convenience store to laugh at the losers who forgot to bring their own parade supplies. And this smug declaration reminds Homer that he actually needs to get some parade supplies.
So, behind the counter, Apu, Sanjay work the busy registers while advertising parade jerky. Be it beef, turkey, or pork, it all tastes like a delicious show tongue. So Super Nintendo Chalmers reaches the front of the line looking to buy a single tube of sunblock. Apu tells him it'll be $30, and Gary feels that once again, the bald man is being kept down, and Apu offers the Super Nintendo a free Philadelphia Sixers hat, and given the option, Gary happily pays for the overpriced sunscreen. So Steve, do you consume a lot of sunblock as a bald man?
I've become a hat guy in recent years, but I do try and suntan it up lotion it up because, I don't want to burn.
The idea of parade supplies is also kind of funny. What do you need? Just like a chair. Not even that. Parades suck. I've talked about this all the time. Parades are horrible. I hate parades. Parades are dumb. Parades are outdated. Stop parades for all time, please.
I completely agree. Parades are the worst, and I hate parades also. They're dumb.
Fans out there, if you love parades, come at us. Just email us, elonmusk@whitehouse.gov.
And if you can't get that address, let's go president@elonmusk@whitehouse.gov.
But the Philadelphia Sixers hat, again, it's another fun joke of crab juice or Mountain Dew. But the stats, so this episode came out in 2016, right? The episodes are produced 2 years before the episode airs. So what we're looking at, the 2013 or 14 season, maybe. So I'm looking here at the basketballreference.com, and the Sixers, for the 2013 to 14 season, they had 19 wins and 63 losses. And then the 2015-16 season was 10 wins, 72 losses.
Wow.
But look, the 2020-21 season, which I believe that was that COVID season.
Yeah, the bubble.
It was 49-23, and they were first in their division. Look, Philadelphia is a winning team for football. That's about it.
Yeah. That's about it.
I don't think the hockey team hasn't been that great. The basketball sucks. The Phillies, every once in a while for the baseball, is okay, but I think they haven't been good in the past couple of years.
And also at this point, Eagles feel like America's team in a way. People root for them, and people like the Eagles.
I mean, look, again, not a political podcast, but they might not be. They're not going to see our president. As is customary to have winning teams visit the White House. So
yeah.
I say we make this our new national anthem, Steve.
Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-A-T-L-E-S, Eagles!
And it works because we still have the bald eagle as the national bird.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Enough of our political chat, Steve.
That's right. And by the way, I just call him Eagle. Okay, so outside, Kim Brockman reports on the new statue, which local wags are referring to as Quimby's Folly. We then see the actual statue, which has waving arms and a bobblehead, speaking in Quimby's recorded voice. After introducing itself, the statue mentions that it was brought to the people thanks to a generous donation from the Springfield Auto Lube. And after the statue mentions Chuck, Ernie, and Arturo, and that they're there for you, the crowd boos, causing the 3 auto repair technicians to regret their advertisement.
Did you feel sad when because you saw the sign, the Springfield Auto Lube go by, and then the 3, Chuck, Ernie, and Arturo, just sad. I felt bad for them. They look like nice guys.
Yeah, and they clearly know their stuff, and they need the business, and so they're hey, this is going to be good for us. We're finally going to make it up, and then no, it's sad.
You know what? We don't do advertisements on this podcast, not because of a stance, but it's because no one pays us for that. But look, free advertisement on this podcast. Go to Springfield Auto Lube, get your lube autoed at Springfield. Chuck, Ernie, and Arturo, they're friends of the podcast. Just tell them the Annoyed Grunt Boys sent you.
Yeah, they're good guys, and they'll lube you up nice.
So next up is the brand new SWAT tank, driven by the Springfield Police Department, while the reporter explains that the expensive urban pacification vehicle was funded by Homeland Security. Chief Wiggum tells the parade goers to gaze in wonder at America's debt, and then behind the police afloat for the gaze in wonder is featured, which Julio shouting to Wiggum, "We love you, Officer Buff," and stuff. It was really funny. I thought thought that seems great.
Yeah, I enjoy the gaze and wonder.
Also, very funny comment on how our taxpayer money's, well, I guess coming up. Yeah, how our taxpayer money is spent.
Yeah.
For the police.
Of
and
course.
the tank. Because we need that in small towns.
Especially for urban pacification. Nothing better to protect the people than keep them protected. So Camp Brockman then welcomes the town's true heroes, the volunteer fire department. The fire truck is driven by Krusty, who states that this is the one good thing that he does. And before pressing play on the Awesome Water Show mixtape, Tina Turner's Simply the Best plays, the fire engine shoots water into the air and sprays its back end from side to side.
Clancy is upset, calling the firefighters lousy chili cookers, who are grabbing all the glory from the police. Lou tries to calm his chief, saying that he only heard a couple of oohs from the crowd, and the fire truck then makes its shooting water dance, which elicits ahs from the people watching, which Wiggum declares to be Grand Theft Thunder.
Oof. Krusty asks the chief if SWAT stands for Short, Wide, and Tubby, and though Wiggum isn't entirely sure, he doesn't think so. And watching this, Bart gets a devious idea. He hops on the fire truck and pulls a lever, which blasts a hose straight into Wiggum's face. Bart runs away laughing, and Clancy turns the armored vehicle around, warning the so-called pole sliders that they asked for it.
Now, Steve, in your mind, did you think when he said pole sliders that they were going to go back to the Gay Men of Springfield?
I mean, it seems like a good opportunity.
Is that offensive for us to say that, or?
I hope not.
You know, they probably brought that joke up in the writer's room, and they're just like, yeah, we probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I thought of when, like, you just had Hulu go, oh, be nice.
Yeah.
Guess we're just canceled, right?
I think so, but this episode is a lot about cancellation, and we'll get into it in a bit.
So we should just say whatever we want if we think it's funny, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let's bring funny back. All right, guys?
Yeah. Memification and, Dark Meme Lord. Yeah, and all that fun stuff.
So when Lou asks Clancy about his course of action, the police chief says that he's going to hit his foe so hard their Dalmatians will lose its spot. Seeing the tread, Skinner tells the fire crew to release their fiercest weapon, foam. So as the white stuff shoots out all over the road, no, not from the gay men, Steve, from the fire truck, the tactical van spins out, causing chaos. The school band runs to safety, and alongside them is Marge, who wants juice. And Lisa informs her mother that no one is interested in her juice boxes.
Poor Marge.
I think Mo might be interested in Marge's juice box.
Juice box as a euphemism. Pretty gross.
Hey, can I just bring up, I like how Krusty and Skinner are part of the volunteer firefighters, because it's a callback to the episode where
Homer the Heretic.
Homer the Heretic, yeah.
Yeah.
Great callback.
It is. It's nice.
One question: why does Homer have a camera on his hat? Like, is he just wanting to record the parade to view later?
Yeah, because the one thing that's more fun than watching a parade live is watching it on a hat cam hours later.
Steve, by the way, are you coming over this weekend? We're going to watch the 2015 fireworks show during the 4th of July that I recorded on my cell phone, my iPhone 4 at the time.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I also have an Arcade Fire concert from 2007 that I recorded on my Motorola Razr.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get great video, but the sound should be good.
Okay, well, you bring that over and we'll have a grand old time.
Wonderful. Back in the SWAT truck, Clancy has lost control. Lou offers to drive, but Wiggum is stuck. So as they head straight for the Kwik-E-Mart, Clancy shouts for someone to call the police. But seeing his impending doom, Apu is eager to see what is inside of those nudie magazines that he sells. So he grabs the July 2015 issue of Playdude, which features girls of the broken homes on the cover. And inside that softcore pornographic publication, Apu is disappointed to find an interview with Jim Gaffigan.
Again, that's just a really funny joke to me.
Yeah.
Now I have to look up, was Jim Gaffigan ever in a Playboy interview?
Jim Gaffigan Playboy.
No, just he was Playmate of the month. Never mind.
He's got a hot pocket hiding his penis.
And it's like really hurting my eyes because his skin is so pale and bright.
Yeah.
So the tank smashes through the window of the Kwik-E-Mart, the barrel of its cannon pointing directly at Apu's head. The cannon goes off and Apu is murdered. And that's how Apu's off the show, Steve.
Wow.
So, there you go. Yeah. And since it's a cop who did it, he had to take a paid 2-leave vacation.
Yeah, paid vacation.
Yeah, and that's how it works in this country.
Yep, it's a good country we have.
Yeah. Look, be a cop, folks, because you could get literally away with murder, and it's fine.
Yeah. Don't be a cop. Cops are bad.
Steve, like half your family's cops.
One guy's a cop.
All right.
By marriage. I mean, he's not a cop by marriage, but we're a cop
So that's
family.
how you get
Yeah, you
that's how
have
you get in the
to.
plea force. All right, I'm marrying Steve Gutenberg after this show, Steve. You can marry Michael Winslow. It's fine.
I would be down for that. Because we wouldn't have to hire a band. He can just make the wedding band himself. Like,
Yeah, but like you think you're getting a blowjob because he's making blowjob noises, but you're not actually getting a blowjob.
that's true.
All right. Steve Gutenberg has a huge hog. That's all I know. Anyways, so realizing that he and his brother Sanjay are still alive, Apu praised the fact that there is a gods. That's fair line too. So as he says this, the Kwik-E-Mart crumbles to pieces, and Homer and Bart witness all of this. And despite Bart's denial, Homer demands that his son makes a promise.
I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove anything.
You did do it. I saw you do it, and here's proof. Aha!
Ay, caramba! What are you gonna do, man?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn this in. You can rot in jail. The only time you'll come out is to see the dentist.
No, you can't be serious. You know the kind of things they'll do to me at the dentist?
Well, there's only one other way. You have to promise never to prank again.
Come on, man. If I don't do these pranks soon, when I'm older, there'll be crimes.
Promise me.
I promise.
Say it like you mean it.
I promise.
Now say it like you're talking to a dying soldier who was with you all the way from D-Day and you gotta take his St. Christopher medal back to his mother. Take me there.
I promise!
Whoa, calm down, Pacino.
There's the reason why Homer's wearing the camera, so
Yeah.
he had to record this for the scene. I'm dumb. I guess I'll stop asking questions because we're watching this live as it goes.
Asking questions is how you learn, but yeah, you're a dumbass.
Calm down there, Pacino.
Ooh, ah. Ass.
Great ass.
I did like that Bart said he didn't do it, because he said that before. This episode's full of callbacks.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
So, later that evening, at the Springfield General Hospital, a signpost said if you died there, you'd be home by now. Inside, Homer and Marge check on Apu and Sanjay, who are healing from their injuries. After Marge mentions the great view that Apu can't see, she asks if he's doing all right, and Homer says that he's fine, since he has 9 lives. But Apu reminds Homer that he's Hindi and not a cat. He has infinite lives, during some of which he may be a cat, and in those particular lives, he does have 9 lives.
That hurts my head thinking about this, Steve.
I know, it's confusing.
So Sanjay regretfully admits to his brother that their store is ruined. Sadly, he doesn't want to tell his customers to come again. I shouldn't say it like that, right, Steve?
No, say it. Come again.
God damn it. And he'd rather work somewhere else. Hearing this, Apu calls for a nurse to take his sibling to the mental ward, and the nurse happily obliges. I just thought this scene was hilarious because
Nurse, transfer this man to the mental ward.
Okay.
what a great line reading. But before he goes, Sanjay offers an explanation and a plan for the future of the Kwik-E-Mart.
Listen to me. When I was hit with a sign, that was a sign. I'm through.
How can you abandon me, brother?
Well, the way we abandoned our other brother.
What other brother? All I remember on that boat was you, the tiger, and the wise old fox. Oh my God! The fox was actually Tiku. Oh, sweet little Tiku, I blocked out the memory. Oh no! Tiku!
Yes, well, I have given my share of the store to my son Jamshed. He will rebuild while you recuperate.
Little Jamshed. How he's grown.
Indeed, first in his class with a business degree from Wharton, and he is ready to take my place degunking the cheese warmer.
All right, my brother. I will especially miss looking into your tired, sunken eyes during our wordless shift changes.
Remember when we used to nod?
I do. It is down to just you and me now, store. Together, nothing can stop us. Unless they put another store within 3 blocks, which I hear they plan to do.
Oof.
Other brother, right? That's a reference, or the boat was a reference to Life of Pi, right?
I believe so, which I never read, but I feel like I'd enjoy.
I feel like you did watch it. Or read it, I mean, and you told me about it. And I was like, because it was like, what, like 2 years later the movie came out?
Yeah, I thought that you had read it and told me about it, so I don't know.
I read the Bible, Steve.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little long and preachy.
No, Steve, you were reading a David Mamet script.
Ugh.
See, that's a callback. A couple episodes ago, didn't I make a David Mamet joke?
I think so, yeah.
That wasn't a joke. All right.
But yeah, so they mentioned Jamshid, or Jay, as he'll be known as. He is actually a callback, once again, to the season 4 episode, Homer the Heretic, in which he was like a little kid.
It's interesting because, like, Apu's kids also, like, are babies, but they've, like, also grown up fast, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So 6 weeks later, Apu stands outside of the Kwik-E-Mart, holding up a picture of his beloved convenience store, and then lowers it to find what is actually there. But to his surprise, the store is just as he left it. Just then, Manjula tells 2 construction workers to roll away the photo, revealing the brand new business called Quick and Fresh.
Apu is confused as to why anyone would spell quick with a Q. But that thought is interrupted by his nephew, Jay, who steps out of the remodel business wearing a Wharton sweatshirt. He explains that his old identity died at band camp when he put his identity in Alison Hannigan's vagina.
Of course.
And that he now goes by Jay. So he goes on to say that he bitch-slapped the Kwik-E-Mart into the 21st century.
Apu is resistant to an upgrade, hanging on to the past both figuratively and literally, as he hops on the large picture of the former Kwik-E-Mart, living in that happy past for just a bit longer. But unfortunately, the photo is on wheels, and Apu is propelled with it off of a cliff. Very cartoony. So as he falls, Apu is joined by Disco Stu, who is wearing roller skates and a leisure suit that says Roller Boogie Forever, and the one-note character states, Disco Stu is in denial with you.
Good. Now Disco Stu is dead.
Yep.
Out of the Simpsons characters, which one do you think should just be killed off? For good. I think we've said it before.
Yeah, like Duffman is up there with me.
Yeah.
The Leprechaun, if he counts, I don't like him.
Okay.
But Disco Stu is probably up there too. Like, I don't have any... Disco Stu doesn't bother me, but I just think there's so little you can do with him.
No, I think he's fine as one. Actually, I don't know why I brought that up. Disco Stu is not the one I'd get rid of, but it is Duffman, I think.
Yeah.
Or Homer, like, I don't know, let's just kill him. Just get rid of him.
I mean, they get a lot of juice out of Bart, and I think we could squash his juice box.
Yeah. Get rid of Bart and Homer on the show, and I think it'll be more successful. And I think fans will be happy if it's just more Lisa and Marge-centric episodes.
I think so, yeah.
Fanboys would love that, yeah.
We'll just change the show to Marge.
Well, let's just do 2 shows. The Marge show and then the Lisa show.
I like it.
But one will be live action. But we won't tell you which.
It'll alternate every week.
Well, let's make one like anime. For
yeah.
people like anime. And then let's do one with finger puppets.
Ooh.
Okay, never mind. Apu examines the new Quick and Fresh store, which features lettuce bathed hourly, free-range chickpeas, and gluten-free Crustios, which feature the spokes clown on the box saying, let's try this. So Jay is eager to show off his new business plan, but Apu is skeptical.
I made this place healthy. I added softer lighting. We're even getting a better class of robber.
I'm afraid I must relieve you of your spare cash and a nice bottle of gin. Ah, Mrs. Peel, shall we?
Okay, those guys are cool, but still, Jamshed, I'm sorry, Jay. I know my customers. All they want is something they can eat while driving.
I'd like a heat lamp dog, please. Somewhere between 2 and 6 blisters.
I'm sorry, we don't serve those anymore. They're a heart attack shaped like a penis.
Why, you millennial!
Easy, brah. Check out our olive bar. See? He doesn't care what he eats. He just eats things in that location.
Hey, quit talking like I can't hear.
This is my store. Mine and Sanjay's.
My father's enjoying his retirement.
Baba Watson, you're no Vijay Singh.
It's funny that, we were just talking about Marvel, because I just saw a couple of Avengers.
Steve, you're going to have to explain to people that are under the age of 60 what you mean by that.
Okay, in the 90s, there was a movie with Sean Connery and Uma Thurman called The Avengers that had nothing to do with Marvel. In fact, it was a show that was in the 60s about two British people, a man and a woman. The man was old and wore a suit, and the woman was hot and wore leather. And they solved crimes, or they committed crimes, or something.
Don't forget that the great Dame Diana Rigg played Emma Peel, and of course was James Bond's wife in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Of course.
Did you hear the bad news about James Bond?
No. Oh wait, it's going to be like an MGM show or something?
Like Amazon owns the rights, or like owns the creative control, has creative control. So like the Broccoli family, who's had the creative control for, since James Bond for like film. Yeah, so that just means you're going to have like a lot of crappy shows and a lot of crappy spin-offs and a lot of crappy crap.
They're going to revive James Bond Jr., but make it live action.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll probably do like the James Bond movie, but then they'll have like the Q TV show or the Adventures with M or Goldfinger, the TV show, like just a 10-hour or 10-episode Goldfinger. But, hey, I was skeptical about the Penguin TV series. Like, why do we care about a Colin Farrell as the Penguin TV show? But that was like my favorite show of the last year. So new show, I mean.
Yeah.
But I love Lord of the Rings, but what they've done with Lord of the Rings on Amazon is just kind of like, I don't need this.
Yeah, I don't like Lord of the Rings, and what they did to Lord of the Rings made me like it less.
But you are excited about the new Harry Potter for HBO, right?
Ah, yes. Let's get some more blood out of that Sorcerer's Stone.
Aren't you excited that John Lithgow is going to be Dumbledore?
Yes.
That's kind of funny. But I want him to play Dumbledore like his character from the TV show Third Rock from the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Then that'll be like the best Harry Potter.
Yeah, and if he can like squeeze me like, there's a muggle on my broom. Nobody believes him.
No, we're good. Steve, Jay,
yes.
that voice sounds very familiar to me. Who is it?
Why, I don't know if you're a fan of his rapping, his singing, or his acting, but that's Utkarsh Dukar. I apologize if I mispronounced that.
It's that is, Steve. You don't need to say that's.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. He was in Pitch Perfect. He was in Game Over, Man, Blind Spotting, Brittany Runs a Marathon, and the TV show Ghosts. And most recently, he was in the Hulu limited series The Dropout. And he was cast as Jay because in 2013, he stated in an interview that he hated Apu and didn't want to have roles where he did, quote-unquote, the Apu voice. But he accepted to be on the show as a way to make fun of the whole controversy itself. And he resulted in saying that the show made fun of everyone and not just Apu. And so viewers should not complain. Because this was at the height of the Apu controversy with Hari Kondabolu working on the movie The Trouble with Apu, and people talking about Apu's representation and how he's portrayed by Hank Azaria. And I mean, we've talked about the controversy before and how he hasn't been on the show in a while and he may or may not come back at some point. But I think that this is the first time that the show was actually talking about the controversy, and later they kind of dismissed it. But I think this is kind of like their first approach to it.
That's funny because we talk always, when we spin the wheel of random for the episode, do you remember things? Like, I still say to this day, I've seen every single Simpsons episode ever because I've, DVR it or watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Like VHS taped it back in the day, and then TiVo, DVR, the progression. Now it's Hulu and Disney, whatever. But I really don't remember this episode. So it's crazy that, like, when I'm watching, I was like, 10 years ago, I swear I had to have watched this. But the fact that they're addressing this now, like, we've had so many conversations about Apu on this podcast that if we just like had spun this wheel for this episode like so much sooner,
mm-hmm.
It's crazy because they've addressed it. And I never knew they addressed it 10 years ago from this record date, at least. But what's great is like Utkarsh, of course, if you're fans of the CBS show Ghosts, he plays a character named Jay. So I think The Simpsons predicted he'd be a character named Jay.
There we go.
I actually do watch Ghosts. Of course, in my opinion, it's not as good as the original UK version.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ghosts is now like the new Office.
Yeah, where it's kind of developing into its own.
Because now there's other countries that are going to be doing like their version of Ghosts. like much The Office. Like we've talked about before, like how like we want to do like an Office podcast that doesn't talk about the UK or the US Office, but we just watch every other Office spin-off, like Japan one or Germany. And now there's a new Australian version. But yeah, so Utkarsh, who plays Jay on Ghost, he's like probably, because I watched the show, I think he's the best character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. I like him, and I like his portrayal of on this episode. And so it's like I would almost say just hire him to play Apu as his voice, but like just do an episode where Apu gets like punched in the throat or something, or Snake shoots him in the throat and his voice changes.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, just show me some violence, guys. That's all.
Yeah, that's what we need to see.
But you've watched the UK Ghosts, you never watched the CBS Ghosts.
Right, I've seen like the first couple episodes of the first season of the US Ghosts. I've seen all of the British one, and I have no issue with the American one. I just have so much love for the UK one that I haven't gotten around to it, but I will eventually.
It's not as good as UK one, and like in terms of like The Office, when I was mentioning The Office, like the UK Office at the time, like I think is one of the greatest sitcoms, but I don't know if it's really held up.
Yeah,
but and I know like I still will rewatch the US Office, and I think it's one of the best comedies. Yes, there's some questionable humor in the US Office, but I feel like the UK Office, and there's only like 9 episodes of the UK Office anyway,
right?
So I think longevity wise and character wise, the US Office I think in many ways can be superior to the UK Office.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But I'm saying go back to Ghosts, like I chuckle at Ghosts, but I don't have like those laugh out moments that I did with like the US Office.
Right.
And that I did with the UK Ghosts.
Yeah, I think the US one is just kind of a cozy show.
It is, and it's a comfort show for me. Like I enjoy it, and there's some jokes I'm like, I think Steve and I could write this show.
Yeah, and I just miss the days of an okay sitcom. Like with the nature of TV being like appointment TV and streaming, and like you have to like intentionally plan out what you're going to watch. We don't have room for these sitcoms that are just fine, and I miss those.
Well, like I said, I watched the Just Fine sitcoms, and I think that's Ghosts, and I think Animal Control, which is of course on Fox, and we love Fox, with Joe McHale. I think that's just okay. And I don't know if I should admit this on the podcast, but there's that new Dennis Leary show, Going Dutch. I think it's just an okay sitcom. Look, Danny Pudi's in it. I love Danny Pudi. Now, we talk about Mythic Quest that he's on. That's a stellar sitcom.
I know. I need to watch that.
Oh, yeah. Highly recommend Mythic Quest. Okay. Now, we are done talking about sitcoms. So let's talk about something sadder. The Simpsons.
Okay.
So Jay reminds Apu that his father owned a large portion of the store, causing Apu to suggest they move their heated discussion to the restroom. So hearing this, Homer asks if they actually have a restroom, and both Jay and Apu respond, no. It's a funny joke, because you go to a convenience store, like, you have a restroom? No. So Jay remembers witnessing the family history from his seat on top of an ATM machine. Now, I'm saying that because he said ATM machine in The Simpsons.
Yes, he did.
Disappointed with that. I know that's a sore subject for a lot of people. Like, don't say PIN number, don't say ATM machine.
Exactly. It's redundant. Unless you are an ass-to-mouth machine, like you just love going from ass to mouth, then you can be an ATM machine.
All right.
In the flashback, a young Gil Gunderson, who doesn't really look like Gil Gunderson, but it sure sounds like Gil Gunderson. And brother, it's Gil Gunderson. Scratches off several lottery tickets until he decides to quit before scratching off the final one, saying that a smart man knows when to walk away. And then he walks out of the store and is hit by a state lottery truck. It's giving kind of My Name is Earl vibes. Apu examines the precious paid-for ticket that was surrounded by its losing brethren. And despite the warning of not scraping where you eat, Apu was compelled to scratch. And as Jay narrates, that very ticket won the biggest scratcher payoff in Kwik-E-Mart history, $25.
Yeah, speaking of just okay sitcoms, My Name is Earl. Like, would you put that like as just okay or higher?
I personally think that it was kind of brilliant.
It was, yeah.
It's a rare sitcom where the characters and the world feels kind of dumb, but the writing and the subjects that they tackled were kind of deep and introspective. Like shows like The Good Place wouldn't be what they were if not for inspiration like My Name is Earl. I think that it covered a lot of topics that were really interesting and like philosophical that I don't think it got the appreciation that it deserved at the time. But that's just my own opinion.
No, I agree. It's a show that I'd like to revisit, but knowing that it never got a proper series finale because it was canceled.
Yeah.
But I think that's the same with the creator. Was it Greg Garcia?
Mm-hmm.
Who like that show, and after that, like he did the Raising Hope, Fox show. I thought that was another well done show, and I think you're right. My Name Was Earl. I think you're right. Because the idea of it was like I said, one of my favorite TV shows was Quantum Leap. It was kind of Quantum Leap-esque in the sense that he was trying to put things right that once went wrong, just like Sam Beckett. So
yeah.
Wow, we're talking a lot about TV, but not The Simpsons. And yeah, that did look like Gil Gunderson, Steve. So back in the present day, Homer is impressed as he uses that bathroom's hand dryer to air out his armpits. Have you ever done that? I've never done that.
I don't think I have. I feel like when I was a kid, I'd maybe put it over my shirt, just let the shirt billow up.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I didn't fuck it.
Okay. Well, then I'm not going to comment about what I've done. Back in the flashback, Apu tries to find another lottery winner with little luck. So Jay holds up the very coin Apu used on all those losing tickets. And Homer asks if it's the same dime, but as Apu tells him, it started out as a quarter.
And Homer makes a face where he slaps his face in stun, kind of a Home Alone Macaulay Culkin thing, and it's both funny and kind of weird.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think it was good. It's just unexpected. So Apu's crazed lottery ticket habit resulted in him being briefly hospitalized for scratches lung, and each time he lost, he paid back Sanjay with another piece of the store. As a result, Sanjay, and therefore Jay, own 80% of the Quick and Fresh, and that amount is only growing as Apu tries out a Big Bang Theory-themed scratcher with the hopes of breaking even. So he scratches off a Sheldon, then another Sheldon, each worth $1 million, but sadly, the third spot reveals a Wallowitz, which has no value, much like the show itself.
There was a show that I think started off good, and then very few TV shows I'll start and because look, I've been on this show for 5 seasons. I'm going to keep watching it because I've put the time in.
Mm-hmm.
This was Big Bang Theory was a show where it's I put the time in, and then after season 6 or 7, I gave up.
Yeah,
I'm done. I did that also with the Goldbergs. I think that's the show that started off solid,
mm-hmm.
and then just went, I'm done. But not The Simpsons.
Still with it.
Have you ever given up on a show?
Sadly, I think I gave up on How I Met Your Mother fairly, I watched a fair amount of it, but around season 6 or 7, it was still in its prime, but I gave up on it, and it was whatever.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last couple seasons aren't good, but you're good.
I kind of am bummed out that I gave up on Drew Carey at a certain point.
I think we both, because we finished high school,
mm-hmm.
living on our own, a lot of times we just don't have time to really watch TV or we didn't have DVRs or streaming then, so we had to set a recorder. But when we live on your own, it's just I have to work or I got other things to do. I'm going out trying to get laid.
Exactly.
I'm not making a joke. That's what you do when you're young.
Right. You just go.
You don't want to stay home. You want to try to get laid.
Right. And it usually is not successful, but at least you tried.
How many times did we go to those late night coffee shops in Portland, just trying to act cool, trying to pick up ladies, and we never even approached a girl.
No, but we looked cool. I mean, we thought we looked cool.
We had our our old those gas station attendant jackets, those blue jackets with our name tag embroidered on, right? Did we actually use our names, or did we have a different name on it?
I mean, I think at the time it was way cooler to have somebody else's name, Ray or
right, Chuck, yeah,
yeah, or Churro,
with our dyed black hair,
mm-hmm, and our studded belts,
and our black frame. Oh, sorry, Steve. You still wear black frame glasses. That's fine.
Still need to see. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Yeah, they really are.
Also, it's kind of funny that while we're talking about being younger, that Apu keeps on making fun of Jay for being a dumb millennial.
10 years ago, yeah.
10 years later, we're still dumb millennials, but we're making fun of Gen Z and Gen X and the boomers.
Well, the millennials are literally a shitty generation because we were promised the boomer lifestyle, but it didn't work. So we're all kind of in limbo.
Yeah, it's like Jeffrey the giraffe was magical because we said, we don't want to grow up. We're Toys R Us kids. And okay, you're never going to grow up. You're going to be perpetually about 25.
And still buying toys.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. So, on the other side of town, Bart walks by a wall which features many signs calling for Quimby to be recalled. Milhouse excitedly tells Bart of a prank opportunity, but says that his little bastard days are behind him.
Bart, Chalmers is sunbathing nude under a beehive. Sorry, man. I'm retired.
Now to present my manhood to the sun. There he is.
No more pranking.
But
Do you know how much imagination it costs to appear in a thought bubble?
sorry, Milhouse. Can't. And you know what? A little part of me is glad that Chalmers' crotch isn't covered in bees. Really? Let's put this good Bart to the test.
Thank God the Department of Homeland Security financed this cherry picker to detangle the flag. Extend, extend!
All this extending is making me thirsty.
Yeah, the bee stuff, very funny. Like,
Yeah.
Chalmers hanging hog.
Mm-hmm.
Fun visual. I feel like he doesn't hang that well, but, you know, that's just me. I mean, that's my opinion.
Yeah. It's a grower, not a shower.
When Milhouse says, like, Mr. Good Bart, I think the opportunity for Hershey's, who owns Mr. Good Bar, is they should have done the Simpsons candy campaign and called it Mr. Good Bart.
But Butterfingers, great candy bar.
Yeah, but you get my idea for Mr. Good Bart.
Of course,
Mr.
yes.
Bar.
Yes.
Which Mr. Good Bar, isn't it just like chocolate and peanuts and that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Which I like a chocolate peanut, but I think like a payday with chocolate is far superior.
Yeah, I think that Good Bar works as a it's one of the best fun size bars. Like, I think as a fun size, the factor works great, but I don't want to eat a whole bar of Good Bar. It gets boring.
Because a payday is the peanuts and caramel, but a chocolate payday with that.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite candy bars because that payday chocolate is a little nutrageous to me.
It is.
Never mind, Nutrageous is my favorite candy bar. We all know this.
Yeah, Nutrageous is supreme. All the Reese's line of products, they're not a sponsor, but I wish they were so I could get some free peanut butter cups.
Or the Hershey's Take 5 because it has pretzels, right?
That's true.
All right, Steve, I want candy.
Me too. Bow wow wow. Groundskeeper Willie steps out of the cherry picker, locking it up as he leaves. And Milhouse tells Bart that he just needs to take a brick, smash the window, unlatch the brake, and as a result, Skinner plummets off the Springfield Gorge, meeting his hilarious doom. But instead of doing all that, Bart places the brick in front of one of the tires, making Skinner safer than ever. Bart declares Milhouse to be the town's new bad boy, and he claims to be up to the task. So he removes the brick, and is then run over by the cherry picker, and he dies.
Yay!
Yay, dead Milhouse.
See, if they just killed Milhouse then, Pamela would have had retired this last year.
Yeah, she could have had 10 years off.
Well, that evening, Marge and Homer take a poo out to cheer him up. Leaving Abe to watch the kids, Grandpa asks to be paid for once, causing Homer to dismiss his father, calling it one of his nonsensical rambling stories. And Abe persists, but Homer continues to mock him, and Bart then tries to show off the fruits of his new good behavior, but is ignored. So this leads to him having a better understanding on Lisa's plight.
I'd like to get paid in corncob pipes, right? Because in 1967, you and... Just get going!
Dad, check out this A I got in citizenship.
Sorry, boy, late for dinner.
I know exactly how you feel, Bart. This family isn't the greatest at recognizing achievement.
Wow, now I understand why you're so mad all the time. I really do.
Thank you, Bart.
Hey, you want to go move our mouths without speaking to drive Grandpa nuts?
I'd like that.
Mother, speak up! I guess I'll just have to turn my hearing aid up to the max.
Homer making fun of the Abe-isms.
Mm-hmm.
Is great.
It's especially funny when you think about the fact that Dan does both voices, so he's mocking his own voice. It's kind of funny to think about. I also thought that the moment with Bart and Lisa was kind of sweet. Like, Bart's trying to be a better person, and he's like, oh yeah, Lisa's got it kind of bad. And then they make fun of Grandpa too.
It's such a great kid moment for those two. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, very sweet.
What a asshole thing to do to Grandpa. Like, this whole like shitting on Grandpa scene is great. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Also, I don't know any hearing impaired folks. And you shouldn't do that, but it's kind of funny. So if they're hearing this, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was trying to do to you, and I forgot this is an audio podcast. Damn it, didn't work. All right.
Over at Luigi's, not that one, Pooh demands another glass of Chianti, despite Manjula's request for him to slow down. He sarcastically responds that he'll need to be on top of his game to ensure that his name tag is right side up. And Jay sits at friends at a nearby table, which only upsets a drunken Apu even more. So Apu calls his nephew a so-called marketing genius who increased revenue by 500%.
So Manjula begs Apu not to make a scene, and Homer asks that if he does make a scene, to bring back more bread. And Apu stumbles over Jay's table, wondering when he'll be introduced. Assuming that Jay isn't embarrassed by him, Jay is a little embarrassed by his uncle, which leads to an awkward conversation regarding stereotypes.
You are ashamed of me? Me, who has been as loyal to you as Gunga Din to Sergeant Archibald Cutter?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're my uncle, bruh, and I love you, but you're a stereotype, man. Take a penny, leave a penny. I'm Indian. I do yoga. Why don't you go back to the Temple of Doom, Dr. Jones?
Temple of Doom. 3 months I worked on that, and all you can see is my hand in one shot. Big whoop. Thank you very much, Mr. Spielberg. And I say that you are a stereotype. All you do is spout stupid, hipster buzzwords.
Swipe left on that accusation. Epic swipe left.
Well, my dear nephew, this stereotype will no longer be a troublesome potato in your chicken vindaloo. Good luck to you. Stereotype? Who's a stereotype? That's a spicy accusation.
You pipe it down.
Hey.
Okay, so right there is the poignant moment of this episode and the message.
Yeah.
I don't say it's my favorite scene, or it's not the funniest scene, it's my favorite scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's pointing out multiple things between, the stereotype of Apu and then millennials, and then just the end with Luigi. Really good. And, which is funny because he can still make fun of Italians. It's okay.
Yeah. And I think also Apu is kind of right in the way that Jay is portrayed as, like, there's a stereotype too about Indian college students becoming, like, overachieving, like, it's not necessarily a negative stereotype, but, like, there is that stereotype about, like, there's an expectation of when, like, young Indian students move to America to go to college, like Wharton, say, and become either, like, business professionals or doctors, like, to over-succeed. And so, yeah, I think that this covers a lot of different stereotypes and dimensions of people. So, yeah, I think it's a kind of a powerful scene.
And I think this is the Simpsons here addressing the issue, and I think this should have called it, but, we still don't have Apu because of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
Mo walks through the aisles of the Quick and Fresh looking for assistance, and Apu greets him, calling him Bra and inviting him to chillax. And Mo simply came in for the latest issues of Toes and Torsos. But he can't hold off his fetish-specific porn, as he wants to learn what happened. So Apu tells the barkeep that he lost his store and his identity, and is left only with his vest. 330 million gods, and none of them listen to Apu.
So Jay returns, upset that Apu is speaking like a Mumbai riverboat pilot, and Apu defiantly expresses to him the capital will always be Bombay. Jay demands that Apu give up his vest, but that uniform is special to Apu. It has a bullet hole for every time that he's been shot. It's his lucky vest. And Jay tells his uncle that he loves him, and then fires him forever.
I mean, it is his lucky vest because he's still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the joke was that he kept on getting shot in it, but, like, the vest has kept him alive, so good on the vest.
So Jay throws the vest in the trash, and Mo offers comfort to Apu, inviting him to the bar, which is the Downward Spiral headquarters. Mo's Tavern is even the cover of the latest issue of Giving Up magazine, which also has an article about how NBC is going to 4 nights a week.
It's kind of funny because now, like, I mean, NBC is still a network, I think. And, they split their time between that and Peacock. But, like, Comedy Central isn't really a channel anymore. Like, they show South Park and The Daily Show, and that's it.
Yeah, why don't they show Police Academy 4 every afternoon like they did in the 90s?
I know. I want to watch a highly edited version of PCU and see David Spade and that other guy at his best.
Yeah, I don't understand South Park anymore. I understand the cartoon, but I don't understand the business of it because it's like Paramount Plus has exclusives, and then so does HBO Max, but then the reruns are on Pluto or something. I don't, like,
yeah, it's all very weird corporate greed and weirdness. Yeah, I don't know.
Anti-Matt Stone and Trey Parker to me. I don't know.
So Mo, Homer, Lenny, and Carl brainstorm with Apu, trying to figure out how to get his store back. Mo offers that Bart is no good, suggesting that he pull a prank to help Apu turn his nice new store back into the rat hole that we all know and love. Homer says that he straightened Bart out, hoping that he would remain that way until the Marines could take him.
Like, take him or take him out?
That's a good question.
Well, Lenny tells Homer that now is not the time to be selfish, since Apu has always been there for them. Except, of course, when that hurricane came and he jacked up all the prices. Are they talking about the hurricane that destroyed Flanders' house?
That's what I thought.
Okay. Apu admits that he got a little gougy, but he doesn't hold any looting against his customers. And Homer scoffs at this, saying that he arrived late when all that was left to loot was a bag of ice. And they play that clip on CNN for a whole week.
So Apu tells his barfly pals that he is one of them now. He sponsors their Little League teams, and he sells them Christmas gifts at 9 a.m. on Christmas morning. And Homer admits that the Hello Kitty cell phone cover really saved his ass with Marge that year. And after all, why have children if not to sacrifice them for your personal needs? And they all toast to Homer's sentiment, and all of that causes their beer steins to shatter. And Mo suggests that they buy more beers, grabbing another set of Easy Break glassware from a box behind the bar.
This is probably just those glasses that they use on film, right? The Easy Break.
They're made out of, like, sugar.
I still want to buy some of those to have them, just so I could do that.
Oh, yeah. It'd be great. Take a bite out of them, too.
Yeah, sugar, right?
Yeah.
But how fun would it be, like, we're getting together, or, just to pull a prank on someone, like, Steve, fuck you, and just bash it on your head.
Yeah. I say, we get in a dumb fight, like, I say Simon was the best chipmunk. I say Theodore.
I say Garfunkel. Did Homer give Marge a Hello Kitty phone case, or was that for, like, Lisa?
I took it as he got Marge a Hello Kitty phone case.
She probably doesn't know what Hello Kitty is. She's like, oh, that's nice. Cute little kitty.
Yeah, and she's probably just happy to get a gift from Homer. At least it wasn't like a bowling ball. I mean.
Yeah. Do you think Homer says Hello Kitty to Marge's vagina?
Yeah, unless he's saying, how can I stick my straw into this juice box?
Hello Kitty juice box. It's like a hat on a hat. Later, Bart is fast asleep in bed. On his nightstand is a trophy celebrating that he only had 3 tardies. God, these Gen Z kids still get awards for whatever, right?
Yep.
And on the wall hangs a plaque for the most improved in juvenile court, and a math quiz in which Bart got a B+, and a note that says, Bart, I'm impressed. Bart's slumber is interrupted by a drunken Homer, who asks for a favor.
Bart!
Oh, leave me alone.
Listen, boy, I need you to do a prank for Apu.
I don't get it, man. You told me to stop pranking, and I did. And you know what? I don't miss it. Without you strangling me, my throat is finally healing. I can sing again. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise him, all creatures here below.
You know what? You're right. What was I thinking? Go back to sleep.
Dad.
Yes?
Say someone were to do this prank. Would the prankster receive a later bedtime? Say 9:30?
No. You know something, boy? I realized I made a big mistake. I like the new well-behaved you. I can stop saving up for that house near the prison.
Do you think it was like a missed opportunity for like a cameo from like a Josh Groban to be like, when Bart's like, hear my singing voice, and then it's a famous singer?
Yeah, it like, the joke kind of fell flat for me, because he didn't, I know he's supposed to be singing poorly, but he didn't sing poorly enough.
Right. You mean she, Steve?
Yes, I'm sorry, they. It wasn't extreme enough on either end. And so, yeah, I think that if they would have gotten, like you say, a Josh Groban, or maybe get Pavarotti back and have him sing it, that'd be fun. So, despite Homer's reluctance, Bart dons a sinister smile and a single fake eyelash, causing Homer to show remorse for buying Bart a video of A Clockwork Orange when he was just 5 years old. Homer hoped that it would assist Bart's time-telling abilities, but it just awoke a monster.
I like how they established a canon for why Bart always dresses up like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, it's good because Homer bought the tape, and there have been like multiple references aside from him just dressing up, but like when Lisa had the science experiment and he's like reaching for the muffins that look like boobs. Another good reference to Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, that was the point of my comment.
I appreciate it.
Okay. So in the next room, Lisa complains that she also was awoken, and Homer assumed that she was sleeping over at her friend Rachel's. But as Lisa states, Rachel was her imaginary friend. She was 3, and when Rachel was 5, she moved to the White Plains, New York. And Homer is saddened that he never got to say goodbye. And Lisa goes on to say that the imaginary family wanted to leave quickly as Rachel's dad had been caught in an affair, and her brother took a semester off at college and never returned. And Lisa goes on to discuss the sad story of Rachel's mother, but Homer has heard enough. Another just really fun, cute scene.
Yeah, I love that. Because you know that Lisa would come up with the whole backstory about her imaginary friend, and I think that's a good story. I like it.
It harkens back to that episode, which I don't know if we reviewed, but it was Homer was reading the Angelica Buttons books to Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Homer doesn't want to read the real story of Angelica Buttons because Dumbledore dies.
Oh, yeah.
Dumbledore equivalent, and so she knows it, but she just makes up another story for him to feel better. It was one of those, yeah. Did we review something like that?
I don't think that we have, but I have seen what you're talking about, so yeah.
So it's like that.
Yeah.
Well, the following day at the Quick and Fresh, Bart tells Milhouse how straightforward his return to tomfoolery is.
My return to prankdom is elegant in its simplicity. All we do is cut the power in the store for 30 seconds. There's no preservatives in the food, so everything will immediately go bad.
Oh, it's an honor to be the guy you explain it to. Bart, wait! I like the new you. Oh, listen, before you flip those circuit breakers, look deep in your sister's eyes and tell me what you see.
I see love.
Unconditional love.
Which means I can do whatever I want.
No!
Again, another sweet moment where Bart and Lisa are sharing kindred spirits until, Bart screws her over.
I know, I was surprised he said love. I thought he was going to say something like a stupid garbage Lisa face.
Yeah.
No.
That's good.
Sweet Bart. Yeah.
So Bart flips the breakers on the health food store and the power shuts off. Instantly, the produce begins to rot, the organic meat spoils, and the gallons of natural milk swell. As a bunch of bananas burst open to reveal emerging butterflies, Sideshow Mel calls for chemicals to save them all. Helen Lovejoy takes solace in the fact that the mushrooms are still alright, until Mel points out that it's actually a wheel of brie that she's looking at.
Should we rename our Wheel of Random to Wheel of Brie and only watch Brie Larson movies?
Only if we can throw in Allison Brie as well. Then yes, I'm in.
All right. Steve, I don't know if we have room for us to do a podcast about that.
We'll have to have a whole community to watch it then.
I'm not sure people would marvel at that idea, Captain.
Surely that idea would glow.
Do you think their skull of an island could get our references, Kong?
Maybe if they had the little hours to watch it.
Well, Steve, it's either the Noi Grunt Boys versus the World or Scott Pilgrim.
Well, let go see a movie.
We could do 13 going on 30 episodes.
Wow. And then I can BoJack off Horseman.
Steve, this joke is a train wreck.
Well, then I guess we won't have to save the date to finish this joke.
All right.
All right.
So the customers rush out of the store, leaving Jay to yell that his store is the cleanest in town, despite Mr. Teeny sitting in a vat of soup, reading a newspaper with the headline, "Monkey's dirtier than ever." So Pooh walks up to his nephew, calling him another failed millennial, wondering who the cliche is now.
So, looking to remove any evidence, Bart turns the power back on. This causes a check stand conveyor belt to move, which pushes some hot massage stones into the trash can, which sparks a fire on Apu's beloved vest. The whole store goes up in flames. Luckily, the Springfield Volunteer Fire Department is quick to arrive, but unfortunately, they find that they're out of water, using it up all at the parade. Another reason why parades are bad. They ride off, once again, dancing to Tina Turner as the store is destroyed.
In the charred remains of the Quick and Fresh, Apu apologizes to his nephew, and Jay responds in kind, admitting that he was kind of a douche wheel, after saying that even Jay's apologizing is offensive. So Apu looks over and sees a lottery ticket in the ashes. and he gives Jay his last $2 to buy the Big Bang themed ticket. He then finds that he has nothing to scratch it with, but until he looks over and finds a single penny in the leave a penny, take a penny tray. So the coin speaks to Apu, and despite Jay's wishes, Apu tries his luck.
Use me, Apu. Make my life worth something.
No, Uncle A. It's a clown move, bruh.
Or maybe, just maybe, a genius clown move. Sheldon? Sheldon? 3 Sheldons! It is a winner! And it is so much money! Which means so many more tickets! Precious, precious tickets! No, it's money. Mwah. Oh, it is so good to see you. I have my store back, my friend. But I have something that I wanted even more, you know. A feeling that I belong.
I'm glad I could help by giving my son a little nudge in the wrong direction.
And now, I have something very, very special for you, my friend. This is the legendary Jumbo Golden Squishy Cup. It will be refilled by me for free for the rest of your life.
Holy moly, all those squishies? How much is that going to cost you?
About $3.
I know a lot of times we have to explain to the kids that listen to this podcast what a DVD player is or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the beginning of the clip, Abraham Lincoln is talking from the penny. We have to explain it's 4 years in the future. So if kids in the future are listening to this, we have to explain
right.
what a penny is. It was 1 cent that Emperor Trump got rid of.
Yes.
Because he thought we're spending too much money on minting them. But then, I guess it turns out the reason penny is around is because then you have to produce more nickels and dimes and quarters, which will actually cost more money in the long run than to produce a penny.
And so the one thing that we thought could have been a good thing that he did actually isn't a good thing, but he's still president 40 years in the future, so it's all fine. His head is in a greasy jar.
Next to Richard Nixon's, of course.
Of course. And he is not a crook. Don't you think it's interesting that we started with Abraham Lincoln and those bored people at the Lincoln Memorial, and now we're ending with Lincoln on a penny?
That's called TV show, Steve.
I like TV shows. Like The Big Bang Theory, which they referenced, and Lord of the Rings, which you referenced, which, Apu was a kind of a golem in this episode. So, just then, the SWAT tank smashes through the newly built window. Wiggum explains that he let Ralph drive, who thought that he was playing pretend.
Again, call back to the beginning of the episode, Steve.
True. Later at the town square, Quimby holds a press conference to admit that he made a mistake, and then instructs Chief Wiggum to destroy the Jebediah Springfield statue with the SWAT tank. And Clancy fires, and the shot ricochets off the bobblehead and blasts the tank to pieces, and that's the episode. Woo! I think the ricochet should have landed on Mose, and Mose destroyed. Oh, God, no! Yeah, I think that would have been funny.
Good job of wrapping things up in callbacks, right?
It's true, yeah.
Although I think the Recall Clancy subplot in this was kind of weak, right?
Yeah, the statue of Jebediah Springfield, it was a failure, I guess, because I don't think that was really well thought out.
Right.
And yeah, so as a result, they wanted to recall Quimby for some reason. But yeah, that did kind of get buried in there. But other than that, pretty solid.
All right. Well, Steve, I think we're kind of talking about how we felt about the episode right now. And I think we should take a break and then come back and really tell everyone how we feel.
That sounds good.
All right. We'll be right back. All right, Steve, we're back. Let's wrap up this week's episode. Much Apu about something. We'll talk about some of our favorite jokes and scenes. We'll give an MVJ. We'll give it a review and find out what we're watching next week. But before we do all of that, of course, we'd like to find something from this episode that can be gifted to our friend and cohort. That would be you.
Indeed.
I feel like this episode... plethora of items, but I think I'm just going to give you 2, Steve.
Okay.
And I think at the beginning, we really loved that t-shirt, so you're getting a Board in the USA t-shirt.
I love it.
Because, I think it's pointed to wear that in this day and age. You know what? We haven't put up something on our TeePublic in a while. I'm thinking we need to put that up there on our TeePublic side. What do you think?
I love it. Yeah, that's good. I wish I could be more bored with America right now instead of just exhausted with it. But yeah, I like the idea of it, yeah.
See, because we have to have it Simpsons related, because I like your idea of saying exhausted in the USA, but I think it's because it has to be that play on words of Born in the USA.
Yeah.
From Bruce Springsteen song and the hit Tom Cruise movie Interview with a Vampire.
Exactly.
It's simple enough. I'll just say it. Hey, check out tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys to get your Bored in the USA shirt.
Ooh, like the sound of that.
And also, here's one coupon for one cheese pizza at Luigi's.
Oh, wow. Well, Craig, I got you a couple of things as well. I got you a case of Easy Break glasses. I know you like to have a beverage or two, and it's a fun prank to toast with that and smash it, or you can take a bite out of it, because it's probably made out of sugar. Or it's not, but you can find out. We'll see. I got you a VHS copy of A Clockwork Orange, so you can be your own little Hellraiser prankster. You can put on your eyelash. And of course, I got you a coupon for free cheese pizza from Luigi's.
Did you notice those coupons have a little asterisk that says $20 for additional toppings? So if you wanted something more than cheese, yeah. And it says $85 delivery fee and $400 pickup fee. Ugh, that's one expensive free cheese pizza. Okay, Steve, what made you laugh in this episode?
Okay, so some things that made me laugh. I really enjoyed Bart and Lisa, and I just enjoy how shitty everybody was to Grandpa. I'm going to give my MVJ probably to Homer, just simply for him making fun of Grandpa's old-timey stuff, saying like the 19 diggity whatever. But also, honorable mention for Bart and Lisa for the ways that they were talking without speaking, and then when Abe turned up his hearing aid, they spoke really loudly. I liked in the beginning the whole commercial with the monuments about how, like, the unknown soldier, who is that guy? The Mount Rushmore? That's not in chronological order. Those are funny jokes, and I like them. What about you, Craig?
I think you're right. The grandpa scene was the best, with Homer, of course, imitating his dad, and that you brought up in the podcast, it's just Dan doing Dan. So I'll go with that. This is my favorite funny moment. The nurse also gets an honorable mention, just for when Apu's telling her to, like, take my brother to the crazy ward or whatever, and she's like, okay. Milhouse trying to egg Bart on front to prank.
Mm-hmm.
Chalmers, who's sunbathing in the nude.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Sadly, we didn't cut away to see his nude body, because it's on Fox. That's all more likely that it should be all nudity on Fox, right?
Exactly, yeah. They slowly turned into a hardcore nudity channel.
Yeah. I mean, if I get to see Kelly Bundy on a bikini every week on Fox, I should be able to see Chalmers' hog.
Exactly. It's 1-to-1.
Wait, what year is this?
Yeah.
Kelly Bundy was a character on... I don't. Okay, I'm not going to explain it. People know this. But I think for the poignant scene, and my actual favorite scene that's not humorous, but it does end with a nice joke, is when Apu and Jay are talking about stereotypes, and then it ends with Luigi saying, "Hey, what's a stereotype?" And just one of the best scenes, I think, if not for like this episode, but in Simpsons in general, because it addresses the issues head on and how stereotypes keep evolving, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said a Homer for MVJ. Should I give my MVJ to Jay himself?
Ooh, most valuable Jay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think I will, but for jokesters, it's the nurse.
Nice, I like it.
All right, Steve, what did you think of this episode?
I think that the discussion about Apu being a stereotype and problematic is valid. And again, I'll say this all as a straight, cis, hetero white guy. So take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm probably, I don't know what I'm talking about. I think the whole conversation is valid, and I think that just having an evolving discussion about it that the Simpsons do from this to, later on when they kind of just slowly get rid of Apu, it is a good reflection of what the Simpsons is, and that's just a reflection of humanity as a whole. That this is an example of where we were at the time, and we're always changing and evolving, hopefully for the better, but, maybe not as the country goes up in flames. As far as the episode removed from that, I really enjoyed the Pooh stuff, but I really much more enjoyed the Lisa-Bart dynamic. I like Bart trying so hard to be a better person and not be a prankster. And he gets recognition from his teachers, but the one person who asked him to do it, Homer, doesn't recognize him. And so he finds commonality with Lisa. And I like their togetherness with that. The Quimby recall C-plot was grossly underdeveloped. I think it's a watch because I think it is an evolution in the show and of the character, and I think that having Jay there was a nice touch. If I had to give it a rating, Apu was scratching off lottery tickets themed by The Big Bang Theory, and in their 12 seasons, they managed to make 279 episodes. And so out of 279, I'm going to give this a 227.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you that the Jay and Apu stereotype conversation, the A plot, I guess, because A stands for Apu, was on the more serious sides. And there was levity and jokes with it, but really kind of understanding where maybe the Simpsons came from and where we are now as a society. You're right, the Bart and Lisa storyline is a nice breath of like fresh air from that kind of conversation, and actually having a nice Simpsons story. It's called The Simpsons, obviously, so having them having their own storyline is only inevitable because it's The Simpsons. And so I think you're right about their fun story, and the reason why you like that is because you don't really want to tackle those serious issues.
Yeah,
that Apu and Jay are dealing with. The Quimby stuff, like I mentioned earlier in the show, you're right. It was maybe just to get from point A to point B, just to kind of connect those stories. Because, you had to start with the parade and then go from the Kwik-E-Mart being destroyed. And I think Michael Price, who wrote this episode, did a great job of connecting the beginning to the end. Nice callbacks with the tank coming in the beginning and in the end. We talked about, right at the start of the episode, was how we've been kind of like, maybe a little negative towards a lot of his episodes, but I feel like this episode he did a great job. And it's not just him. This show is created by a writer's room. They just happen, like Michael Price just happens to be like kind of like the head writer, essentially the showrunner for that episode in a way. And so he gets the tag, but all the writers worked on it. And I think they did a great job of bringing the whole story or the idea of Apu and talking about it. And this was 10 years ago as of this record when it came out. So they addressed it, and I think they did a wonderful job addressing it. So I liked it more than you a little bit. I'd watch it again, because apparently I don't think I remember watching it for the first time. And if I gave this a ranking, and you mentioned the Big Bang Theory, and I'll just let you know that each of the cast members, the main cast members, by the end of the series, they were making over $1 million per episode.
Wow.
In fact, it's said that Jim Parsons, of course, who played Sheldon, earned about $26.5 million from June 1st, 2017 to June 1st, 2018 for a whole year. So, $26.5 million. And if I gave this episode out of a Jim Parsons earnings for 1 year, I'm going to give it a Kaylee Cuoco, who earned $24.5 million.
That's fair. I mean, that's not fair that she got paid so much less, but the score is fair.
So, hey, that's our review for Much Apu About Nothing. And Steve, of course, we're not doing new episodes because we're not coming back until the end of March 2025, I believe. So that means we got to bring out the old Wheel of Random.
Whoa. All right, let's give it a spin to see which season we're in. Boop.
All right, we've got season 31.
Whoa, season 31. And let's give it another spin to see which episode we're watching. Boop.
All right, we have episode 5.
Wow. Season 31, episode 5.
Now, Steve, I know you have season 31, all the titles and the synopsises just in your head because season 31, it's one of those classic seasons, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you one hint, Steve. It's production code YABF20, and it's episode number 667.
Wow.
What do you think the title of the episode is?
Well, this episode was based off of another episode of Simpsons, but it was also originally based off of a Shakespeare play. And so I think they're going to stick with that gold and go with Dothello. Or Annoyed Grunt Fellow.
I like it. But sadly, Steve, you're stupidly wrong.
Aw.
Because if you only remembered, it was an episode that aired November 3rd, 2019. Now, do you know it?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's Gorillas on the Mast.
Hmm.
See, a parody of Gorillas in the Mist.
Exactly.
What do you think this episode's about?
I know he's a chimpanzee, not a gorilla, but I'm going to say that Mr. Teeny, Krusty's beloved monkey, runs away from the circus to join the Navy, and he and the sea captain create a bond, James Bond. They create a friendship, and that makes Krusty upset. So he gets his old boat that he was going to live on when he faked his own death, and he goes onto the sea to chase after the sea captain and Mr. Teeny. And in the B-plot, Homer becomes obsessed erotically with balloon animals, which kind of weirds Marge out until she finds one that she likes too.
You know, I'd love to say you're correct, right?
Yeah, I know you would.
No, you know, I'd love to actually say you're wrong. And I'm loving it, Steve, because you are wrong.
Ah, crap.
Sorry, I don't think that'll ever be an episode.
Aw.
But you could always have AI write it if you'd like.
I might do that when we're done here.
Here's the real synopsis. After a trip to the Alcatraz Water Park, funny name, Lisa becomes determined to set free Springfield's most vicious animals in captivity. Meanwhile, Homer fulfills his lifelong dream of creating balloon animals. Wait a minute. No, but you're close with the boat here, because Homer fulfills his lifelong dream of buying a boat and quickly realizes boat ownership sucks.
Huh.
You got a boat, right, at least?
Yeah, I mean, there was a mast in there, so I'm not, like, a genius, but, you know, I can pick up on context clues.
Yeah, I'm dumb. You know what they say about boat owners' two favorite days, right?
Yes.
The day they buy the boat and the day they sell the boat.
I love that quote. I've never owned a boat, but I love it.
All right, Steve. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week. So thanks, everyone, for listening. And go ahead and contact us on social medias at 138Simpsons, like Threads and Instagram and YouTube. But you can always do the email, which is the preferred way for us. And so email us at 138simpsons@gmail.com.
And hey, if you're so kind, go to your favorite podcatching app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent, but you don't need to write an actual review. Just tell us what prank you would do if you quit pranking and then started pranking again.
And don't forget to check out our TeePublic site, tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys, to get your Bored in the USA t-shirts.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, for this week, I've been Annoyed Gruntboy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Gruntboy Steve.
And remember, you're a heart attack shaped like a penis.
Now to present my manhood to the sun. There he is.
Why, you millennial!